Hello and welcome to my third starter run for my Pokemon Fire Red No Item Challenge runs. This time we'll be covering Squirtle, the water starter. We've already covered Bulbasaur and Charmander, but how will Squirtle fare with the Kanto League compared to them? Let's find out. So once again we start off at Palatown, as always, and find ourselves in Professor Oak's lab, where we choose our partner that we'll be beating the rest of the game with. As always, right before I take my Squirtle, I save and reset the game, until I spawn a Squirtle that looks like it has good enough IVs and natures. But before I take my Squirtle, I take some time to look into its stats and move pools and see what moves it can learn, so I can come up with a viable strategy to use for the rest of the run. Squirtle, like a real life Tortoise, is the bulkiest of the starters, but it's also the slowest, and has the least attacking stats. The water typing is arguably the best type in single player for any starter, as water and ice coverage is very effective, as you will see later in the run. Its best moves include Surf, Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, Blizzard, Return, Mega Kick, or even Seismic Toss to always deal some fixed damage. This Pokemon is more straightforward than the other two starters. Ends up using Surf, Ice Beam, Return and Hydro Pump for extra power. This way you have good coverage against almost everything and can deal with all the potential threats we'll see in the Pokemon League, especially against her grass type starter rival. For natures, I settled with a quiet nature to boost special attack but lowering speed. At a high enough level I was still able to outspeed most threats. Honestly, any special attack nature will do and will maximise your Squirtle's power. Now I have my starter, I test out in our rival's Bulbasaur. We speed tie with it, but ultimately emerge victorious in the end. Now it's time to start our adventure for real. The first thing I do is grind my Squirtle till it reaches level 12, just to be safe against my rival rematch. After that, we challenge Green again, and we win without too much trouble. Anyways, we plough through the bug catchers in Pulip and Brock, and as anyone would expect, we utterly wallop him, being rock and ground type Pokemon. So after taking the first badge, we proceed straight to Cerulean City through Mount Moon. As we get there, I teach Squirtle Mega Kick for some power, as Water Gun and Bite are its best attacking options and they're not that strong yet. With this newfound power we go straight to Misty's gym at level 25, and we beat Misty almost as easily as we did Brock, which is quite surprising. Both our Starfish Pokemon go down in 2 bites and barely hurt me in return. The good thing is that after this battle I get TM Water Pulse, which I give to Squirtle, replacing its Water Gun for some extra punch. After this I cross Nugget Bridge and get the SSN ticket from Bill, and crash to SSN. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention I did beat Green in Nugget Bridge, but to be honest, the battle was a complete cakewalk and I barely took any damage at all. After some leveling up, I see Green again on the SSN and beat his entire team once again soundly. His Ivysaur is a 2-hit KO, so I don't have to be worrying about my rival anytime soon. After that I get the HM cut and proceed to Lieutenant Surge's gym, where I might actually receive a challenge. This time I actually lose twice. The first time due to Voltorb outspeeding me and weakening me just enough so Raichu could outspeed and 2-hit KO me. The next time I lost was due to Raichu spamming double team and dodging all my attacks. Damn it. But on my third attempt, I take out his first 2 Pokemon without taking any damage. I gained a few levels just so I could outspeed, and knock out his ace in 2 hits. Now that we've passed this minor setback, we go through Rock Tunnel to Lavender Town, and oh look, it's our rival again. And what do you know, we beat him once more. At this point Squirtle is bulky and is seemingly the easiest starter solo run yet. Who knows, maybe we'll find a challenge later on. Speaking of challenges, Erica sounds difficult, being the grass type gym leader. So instead I go to Rocket Hideout first to level up. We also picked up some Mystic Water to boost our water moves even further beyond. Anyways, we beat everyone inside the Rocket Hideout, including Giovanni. He sounds really easy, considering that he has a Onyx and a Rhyhorn, though his Kangaskhan did get a critical hit Mega Punch surprisingly, and got me down to 7 HP, which was a close call, but I beat him anyway. After that I decided to go to Pokemon Tower before the grass type gym leader, and grind against all the possessed trainers and wild encounters, since all the Ghastlies and Haunters inside all give special attack EVs, so it's definitely a good place to grind. Strangely enough, I actually forgot about Erica's gym and went straight through the Psychopath instead, where I go to get the HM Surf. Surf is really good as it gives Squirtle even more power, though at this point it has learned Hydro Pump for maximum power, but Surf is more accurate. I use this newfound power to dunk on Koga's team, easily, taking his poison badge. At this point, I realised that I stupidly forgot about the 4th gym leader, so I head back up to Celadon Gym to challenge her, with a level 59 Squirtle, which I go to claim the 4th gym badge. I also taught my Squirtle Ice Beam first, which is super useful to deal with grass types, as I proceed to destroy these grass types in one hit each. Now it's time for us to go to Sylph Tower and to chase out these Team Rocket grunts. But before we shut down Team Rocket, our rival wants to try his luck against us again, but we give him the boot, while taking minimal damage. His Venusaur almost goes down to a single Ice Beam, while missing a Sleep Powder to us, and loses because of it. It's okay, we all lose to hacks sometimes. After this, not only Giovanni, but Sabrina also, the 6th gym leader, both go down with barely any fight. Say this challenge run is getting easy is an understatement. Maybe next time I'll actually do a hard challenge run and you guys can see my final form. But for now, we carry on with the Slaughterfest, as we destroy the last 2 gym leaders, Blaine and Giovanni. Seeing as both of their teams are all weak to water, the battles are barely even worth showing. Jesus. Time to finish this run, but before we get to the Pokemon League, Green wants another beating, so we comply. Funnily enough, I speed tie with his Venusaur, but put it down with Ice Beam. His Alakazam deals a lot of damage, but we win on our first time. Now we clear Victory Road and go to claim the Pokemon Championship belt. After finding all 13 rare candies in the game and some last minute leveling, I reach level 94 and proceed to Lorelei. I give my Squirtle a Mystic Water, though Leftovers is probably better since he's really bulky, but I couldn't be bothered catching all these Pokemon, so I go anyway. Lorelei's team of Ice and Water types won't be hurting me that much, as I resist her whole team. I take out her whole team in no more than 3 hits. Dugong goes down in 1 critical hit return, which I forgot to mention that I replaced Mega Kick with return, as they're both good attacking options, but I don't like missing with Mega Kick. Also, Cloyster goes down in 1 Hydro Pump, even though it's resisted. Man, Squirtle at this point is so strong that he doesn't even care about resistances anymore. Now it's Bruno's turn to get a beating. Get this, Squirtle outspeeds and 1-hit KOs his entire team. Goodness, he's on a rampage. The third Elite Four member is Agatha, who can outspeed me this time with her fast Ghost type Pokemon, but she gets her entire team dunked on in 1 hit, without harming me in return. Next. Now most people would agree that Lance is the hardest Elite Four member, and you would also think that Ice Beam would completely destroy his Dragon and Flying types, and you would be absolutely correct. Wow, hell, even Bulbasaur and Charmander lost a few times in this battle. Water type best starter confirmed, I guess? Before I can confirm this, we have one last battle. Our rival just doesn't know when to quit, so I'm gonna show him. At this point, Squirtle can hit the majority of his team super effectively, and can 2-hit KO everything on his team except maybe Gyarados. Pidgeot goes down in 1 Ice Beam. Venusaur survives 1 Ice Beam, but barely, like 2 HP barely, then goes for Growth, which is really strange. It goes down anyway. His Venusaur had one job, go for a strong grass type move in overgrow range, but oh well, it gets the boot. However, I did get a bit cocky as his Gyarados can take a few hits and hurt me back in return, whilst Alakazam and Arcanine outspeed me and deal me some damage. If I had leftovers, this chip damage wouldn't have mattered, but over time this chip damage does add up, and I almost faint, but I win first try regardless. With our last battle finished, Squirtle is now the undisputed champion of Kanto, and dare I say, the most viable starter in single player, with losses that can easily be counted on one hand, and that wraps up my last Kanto starter run. Okay guys, so that is my first batch of solo runs complete. This batch was about the Kanto starters, but now I need to work on your ones. I know these runs weren't too difficult, it might be disappointing for you guys, so here's what I propose. You guys can suggest solo runs, or any runs for that matter will do. I can do things like Fire Red runs with Pokemon like Paris, Goldeen or Spearow, or maybe I can take the Kanto starters that I just did, go through the post game, then re-challenge the souped up Elite Four, or maybe I can take the Hoenn starters and do those runs. Like, seriously, you guys can give me any suggestions for me to do and I'll look into them. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching, I appreciate any support and look forward to your company again. See you guys soon, is Ding Dong signing out.